The episode opens up with the Avengers facing off against Ultron ugly ass. Iron Man claims that he knew Ultron was hiding somewhere as he prepared to attack. Hawkeye expresses his concerns, revealing that Ultron has absorbed the super adaptoid and aims Scientist Supreme. All of the Avengers start attacking Ultron, but because he has absorbed so much power, their attacks don't do much of shit to him. Ultron does not bother turning around and tells them that he does not give a fuck about fighting them. However, Iron Man, who feels guilty about letting him escape the last time, tells him that he won't let him get away again. He flies in front of Ultron and launches his missiles, but to everyone's surprise, he misses the mark. Falcon reminds Iron Man that their target is Ultron and not the Avengers. Iron Man then tells the Avengers that they need to take Ultron down before he stabilizes his new body. Black Widow quickly jumps into action and tries to attack Ultron, but he shakes her off easily. Captain America goes in to attack next, but he too fails to stop him. Frustrated, Iron Man blasts his unibeam at Ultron, causing him to slow down. He tells the Avengers that if they insist on this being their last day alive, he is going to show them that it is technology that controls them. He then fires a red beam out of his mouth towards the sky. The beam hits Falcon, who is in the sky, and he claims that everything is locked up just as his wings disappear. Before he can plummet to the ground, Thor manages to catch him. Ultron begins firing the beam at all of the Avengers who use technology, including Hawkeye and Black Widow. As their tech begins to lose control, Thor and Hulk quickly take over and try to stop Ultron while their friends try to handle their weapons. While Iron Man tries to come up with a new plan to beat Ultron's ass, Captain America holds him down since his suit is acting up as well. Thor throws his hammer into Ultron's mouth, giving Iron Man enough time to start working on shutting Ultron down. He then sends out a wave that regulates everyone's tech. As soon as Hawkeye recovers his powers, he shoots an EMP arrow at Ultron and manages to shut him down. However, the rest of the Avengers are not happy about it since the arrow has shut down their tech as well. On the other hand, Ultron comes back online and flies towards the sky, claiming that he needs to be there. Captain America, who is often the only rational one on the team, tells the Avengers that they need to come up with a better plan, but Iron Man insists that he is going to finish Ultron today and that he only needs Hulk's help to be able to do that. As Iron Man shoots towards the sky as well, Hawkeye asks him if he is sure he knows what the fuck he is doing. Iron Man ignores his question and summons Friday and asks her to set his armor on overload. Once his request is complete, he tells Hulk to back him up. When Iron Man reaches Ultron, he ejects himself out of his suit while his suit attaches itself to Ultron. A huge explosion goes off, causing Hulk, who had caught Iron Man, to crash to the ground as well. Captain America claims that Ultron has been turned into dust, but Iron Man is not as optimistic, saying that he has a hard time believing that. Back in the Avengers Tower, all of the Avengers, except for Iron Man, are locked up inside a simulation room where they are fighting robots. Hawkeye, however, sits in the corner and refuses to move. When Thor tells him to help as well, he claims that he does not see a point in their continuous training while Iron Man works on finding Ultron. Black Widow backs Hawkeye up and says that the rest of them have responsibilities that they have been neglecting because Iron Man fears that Ultron will return. Before she can finish what she is saying, Iron Man walks in behind her, grabs a device, and turns around to leave. Frustrated, Widow snatches the device from his hands and tells him that he is not their leader, and he cannot expect them to sit around doing nothing. This does not sit well with Iron Man, and he too loses his cool. He claims that they are naive to expect that Ultron has been defeated so easily. Captain America and Thor intervene before things escalate. Cap tells the two of them that they cannot be fighting with each other. He then turns to Iron Man and tells him that the group needs fresh air to cool down, and assures him that they will be back as soon as he finds Ultron. Thor also promises to return as soon as Ultron is found, assuring his friend that the Avengers will have his back no matter what. Knowing that he does not have a choice, and that everyone can use fresh air, Iron Man turns around and tells the Avengers to leave, claiming that he can find Ultron alone. Later that day, all of the Avengers leave the Avengers Tower and get to work. Black Widow, who has received a list of fugitives from S.H.I.E.L.D., tackles them one after the other. When she takes down a man trying to break in through the back door of a shop, she crosses another one out of the list, unaware that she is being watched by Ultron. On the other hand, Friday helps Falcon set up his college courses. While the two of them are talking, Friday suddenly goes offline. When Falcon turns around, he finds Ultron's red eyes glowing behind the classroom door. Meanwhile, Captain America arrives in Brooklyn where he interacts with a few fans. This is when he notices someone carrying a bag of baked goods from his favorite bakery around the corner. Curious to see if it is still open, he heads into an alley. All of a sudden, someone jumps down from the building and stands in the dark, watching Capt. As soon as Captain America realizes someone is behind him, he turns around and asks them to show their face. To his surprise, he finds his clone walking toward him. Capt throws his shield at his clone, but it catches it before throwing it back at Capt. Somehow, Captain America manages to dodge the attacks. As he begins fighting with his clone, he tells Ultron that he is not going to get away with this. However, his clone claims that he is a piece of shit and needs to be replaced. At the same time, Iron Man calls out to Friday, but when she does not respond, he turns around and finds that all of the super suits are lighting up. He realizes that Ultron has found him. To his surprise, Ultron collects different parts from the suits and manages to create a powerful version of himself. Iron Man barely manages to escape in a tunnel, but Ultron chases after him. Meanwhile, Black Widow gets attacked by her clone as well, who also tells her that she is a piece of shit and needs to be replaced. Annoyed, Widow fights back, but when she notices that there are too many civilians around, she decides to head back to the Avengers Tower, where it will be safer to fight her clone. Falcon finds himself in a similar situation. As he gets chased by his clone, he tries to tell Iron Man about the development, but finds that he is unable to reach his communication system and realizes that Ultron is jamming their comm system. Not far from him, Captain America heads for the Avengers Tower as well. Back at the Avengers Tower, Iron Man manages to get into his suit, but finds that Ultron is still too powerful for him to take on his own. He tries to contact the Avengers, but soon realizes that the comms are down. Ultron tells him that he is going to replace all humans with their clones called the Ultimates. No matter what Iron Man does, Ultron manages to overpower him. Just when he is about to lose hope, Hawkeye saves the day by neutralizing Ultron for a while. He then tells Iron Man that he came to ask him for help, just as his clone shoots arrows at them. Not long after this, the rest of the Avengers arrive at the tower, followed by their clones. As each of the Avengers takes their clone on, Captain America realizes that they need to clear the area and get civilians to safety. Black Widow asks him to provide cover while they get everyone to safety. However, before they can do anything, their clones start attacking them relentlessly. Widow asks Cap how they are going to defeat their clones when they are perfect versions of them. However, to everyone's surprise, it is Iron Man who reassures her that being imperfect is their strength, claiming that humans are both impulsive and unpredictable, which is something that Ultron was anticipating. Instead of attacking from a range, Iron Man decides to switch things up and hugs the android. When Ultron pushes him away, he notices far too late that Iron Man has planted bombs on him, and they explode before he can get away. Below them, the rest of the Avengers take their clones down as well by switching up their usual attacks. Thor, who is fighting against his clone, realizes that he is not using real lighting. He electrocutes his clone before he joins the rest of the Avengers. As soon as he lands, the Avengers notice Black Widow's clone asking the cloned Avengers to assemble. This is when Widow suggests that Hawkeye should use his EMP arrow at the same time as Thor's lightning. For once, things go according to plan, as this creates an electric charge that causes all of the clones to shut down once and for all. By the time Iron Man lands, he realizes that his clone is missing. However, just when Widow spots him, they hear Ultron saying that he is going to create clones of all of humanity. Suddenly, a shield covers the city, keeping the Avengers out, while Ultron scans everyone. Iron Man claims that they need to act fast before Ultron is able to create their clones. Surprisingly, it is Hulk who comes up with a plan. He tells the Avengers that they can get to Ultron through the underground tunnels before punching the ground, causing it to break apart. The Avengers manage to get inside the shield and take Ultron down. Until the last moment, Ultron insists that the Avengers are not going to win against him. At the end of the episode, Iron Man claims that their fight with Ultron has proved that there is no one better to fight alongside him than the Avengers. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.